everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have something fun and different and Christmassy for you. I know you may be thinking, Christmas, it's only September. I totally get that. I've been in that camp, so if you want to just stop watching now and come back in a few months, that's totally fine. No hard feelings. For those of you who are interested in talking Christmas this early, I'm excited to talk about my plans for December Daily this year. For those of you who may not know what December Daily is, it is a memory-keeping project created by Bella Blvd where you capture one story per day in the month of December, basically leading up to Christmas or going, December 1st through 31st. In my book, I go through December 1st through 25th, and I will link her blog below if you guys want more information on that project. Here's a look at the album that I created last year. This project is one of my favorite memory keeping projects because it has a defined start and end time. So I started on December 1st and then it ends at Christmas on the 25th. Also, because there are supplies that I limit myself to. So this year, I wanted to show you how I'm going to be using the new Christmas collection from Illustrated Faith. I have some pieces from it. And I wanted to show you how I was going to plan to incorporate that into my December Daily. I am going to pick up a mini kit that Bella Blvd offers just to kind of supplement this for a few more embellishments, but I really am going to try and keep it simple just like last year so that I can make sure that I'm successful in completing it. So what I purchased from this collection was the stamp set, it's 11 pieces, and also the collection pack. So this includes 12 pattern papers and a fundamental sticker sheet. And then when you purchase the collection pack, you get this exclusive collection kit bonus pattern. So if you were to buy these individually, you wouldn't see this because it's only available with the collection kit. They do offer these papers in a 6x8 size, which is the size of the album that I use, but I decided to go 12x12 because I wanted to get the sticker sheet and also the cut-apart sheets that are offered in this. So this is a look at the fundamental sticker sheet. It has a white alphabet down here, and then it has some border strips, some sticker tabs, arrows in different shapes and things like this. It's using the traditional green and red Christmas colors and then also some non-traditional colors like yellow and aqua, teal, and pink. I'll just show you the pattern papers quickly. One of my favorite things about the collection kit is that you get 2 of each paper. They are double-sided, so there is 12 different patterns that you get, but this way you don't have to decide between 2 patterns. If you really like them, you can have 2 of one sheet or use both sides. So this sheet is called Ornaments of Love, and it has some really cute sayings on here and little holiday motifs like an ornament, a little manger scene here, a Christmas tree, some turtle doves, and then also sentiments on here like joy to the world, Jesus rocks my world, Noel, love each other. This sheet is called Greatest Gift, and I think I want to use this as the intro page in the album for December Daily because this is really what the Christmas season is all about to me. It's the time when we celebrate Jesus' birth, and so all of the sentiments on here I feel like really encompass that. And then on the reverse is this white with a Christmas tree. Next is this paper called God's Love. It's white with hearts on it, and it has the traditional red and green, but it also has the pink and yellow, so you really could use this year-round. And on the reverse is just a red and white polka dot, which could also be used year-round. So my plan for this is to cut it up into either a 3x4 card, a 4x6 card, or to cut it down to a 6x8 sheet and use it as a full-page sheet. This one is called Star of Bethlehem, and it has some different Christmas tree illustrations on here, and then some words like Noel, joy, peace. And on the back is a black and white Christmas tree print. This is one of the reasons that I purchased the collection kit was for this cut-apart sheet. It has 12 3x4 cards here that you can cut out, and there are a couple that I think you could use year-round, like this polka dot print, maybe the turtle doves, maybe this holy, holy, holy inside present. And on the reverse is this sheet of borders. I'm not sure how I would incorporate this into my December Daily project, but I'm up for the challenge. And the last sheet is called Away in a Manger, and it is this wood-grained pattern on the back, and then there are little illustrations of Mary and Joseph, the shepherd, Jesus in the manger, the wise men, The king is born, joy to the world. So really just focusing on the reason for the season. And then on the reverse of this is a gray and white flannel. So that's it for the papers, and I'll show you this stamp set. And then I also wanted to show you guys a few ways that I'm going to use these papers and make either journaling cards or filler cards for my December daily project. So this stamp set you can see here has a stack of gifts on it, a little bird with the scarf on, some sentiments, come let us adore him, king, gift, joy, a wreath with the word peace in the middle, a little manger scene, and then Mary and Joseph. I think they're just so cute with Jesus sleeping in the manger with some little Z's. And then some little stars here where you can add some finishing touches to whatever project you're working on. And then all of the products in the Christmas collection that go along with this, there's a 6x8 paper pad, a clear cuts pad, some tip-ins, tabbies, die cut shapes. Those are all available on Dayspring, as well as the collection kit and the stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and show you guys how I'm going to create a few cards to go in my December daily album for this year. The first thing I do is trim off the branding strip with my paper trimmer so that it fits in my trimmer, and I'm able to cut a 3x4 card out of this sheet that has the white background with Christmas trees on it. I wanted to go for something neutral, and then while I'm working with this paper, I decide to go ahead and cut out a 6x8 piece of it so that I can use that as the intro page for my December daily album. Next, I'm going to take my 1.5 circle punch, and I'm trying to decide which sentiment here I want to punch out, and I'm going to use that as an embellishment on the card. So I'm going to cut around it so that I can reach it with my punch and then cut out the sentiment. But it wasn't enough dimension for me. So then I take my 1-inch circle punch and I go ahead and cut out this motif that says "He loves us." Then what I decide to do is to back the green circle with the reverse of the original circle I punched out and just kind of create a layered look. My style is pretty simple, so whenever I can add some interest with extra layers, I always try and do that. So I decide before adhering anything down that instead of putting the sentiment on the Christmas tree pattern paper, I want to go ahead and use the one that has the hearts on it. So I go and cut a 3x4 section from this piece of pattern paper, and then I'm going to glue down the black circle directly onto the 3x4 card, and then I'm going to take some foam adhesive here and then put that between the black 1.5-inch circle and the smaller circle. And I learned this great tip from watching YouTube videos in the past where when you use foam adhesive, if you've used the dots, keep the negative space from the dots because it's great to cut up into larger pieces and place behind things. Now when the time comes to actually work on this project in December, I may go back and add something metallic to this card, but this is just a good jumping off point. And the next thing I'm going to use is the fundamental sticker sheet, and I decide to go ahead and use this tab and cut it in half, and it says Christmas is here, and then it has this little arrow pointing down onto the card. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best to center that at the top of the card. And once that's down, I find a piece of vellum from my stash and I'm going to trim that down and adhere that to the pattern paper so that I can journal directly on the piece of vellum, again adding interest with an extra layer instead of journaling directly on the card. To adhere it, since it is transparent, I'm going to use my tiny attacher and staple it in a couple places so that you can't see the adhesive through the vellum. Then I get my larger Illustrated Faith journaling pen and I just draw some messy lines on there to make sure that my writing stays straight. And that's pretty much it for this card. I want to be sure to use the stamps for the last card that I create. So I'm trying to figure out here which pattern paper would work best, and then I decide to end up using a scrap of white cardstock that I have laying around. And then I decide that I want to heat emboss a stamp image onto this white cardstock. So I'm showing you all of the tools I have for that. I have some Versamark ink, which is just a clear sticky ink, gold embossing powder, and then a heat gun from American Crafts. And then you can see I have a piece of scrap paper behind the card that I'm working on, and that is essential to catch all of the embossing powder. These are new stamps, so I'm just kind of dirtying them by rubbing them on the back of my hand. And since this ink is clear, I can't really see where I've stamped it. So I'm doing my best to kind of place these images together, and in the end there is a little overlap. So I used the manger scene, and then I put the sentiment, "Come let us adore him," above that, and then I'm using the star stamps to add some interest and a little pattern onto the card. Then I'm taking this gold glitter embossing powder from Recollections, it's the Michaels brand, and I am sprinkling that over the stamped image. And so you can see that the embossing powder has clung to the Versamark ink. I'm taking a dry paintbrush and then just brushing off the excess embossing powder so that it doesn't get onto the card. And embossing powder gets everywhere, always. So I ended up getting gold glitter all over me. This might just be my issue, I'm now realizing, but just be aware when you use it. Next, I'm taking my heat tool and I'm holding it with a pair of tweezers so that I don't burn my fingers. And you're just going to melt the embossing powder until it becomes solid and just melts and doesn't rub off on your fingers or anything. And you can see how nice and shiny it is there. So here are the 3 cards that I've created, and then I decide that I want to add a little more sparkle to one of them because I have the gold embossed card. So I thought about tying some gold string to this journaling card, but I realized it was just kind of out of place and I wasn't ready to do that, so maybe later when I'm actually working in my December album. Instead, I decided to add some of this twine, white twine with a gold ribbon running through it, and I'm going to tie it horizontally and vertically around the card just like a present. So I'm tying it in just a double knot here on the back and then trimming the excess, and then I'm going to do the same vertically. And then I'm going to secure that with some washi tape so that it doesn't become untied. Once that's centered, then I go ahead and put the circle piece back on top of it so it looks like a little present, and it just provides a little more texture and interest to the card. So when I think they're done, I realize I want some kind of border on this white card. That's really not my style, just a plain white card with some text in the middle. So I decide to go back through the pattern paper and I'm going to trim down the white card and then create a border using this red and white pattern paper. I just cut another 3x4 piece of this pattern paper and then lay the white card on top of it, and that's it. If you guys want to take a look at my December daily album from last year, I've included a link below to my album flip through. Be sure to subscribe if you guys don't want to miss out on any crafty inspiration. I am so excited for Christmas this year and documenting it, and we'll be sharing things in the coming months about that project. I have a new Bible journaling process video coming on Wednesday that I'm really excited to share with you guys, and I'll see you then.